Malaysian company. Tell me first basic steps I can take. Steve, I'll go with you. I mean, that's number one, okay? The point is, what is the takeout, you know? I know when I wanted to do this event in Malaysia, a think tank in Malaysia, I cannot take its name. They told me, I asked him, I'm thinking of doing this event. It's not a hot topic, Leroy, you're wasting your time. I don't want to prove them right, okay? I talked to the ministers after the event to build it into movement across Asia. So how do you do that? We need some champions. In any process you need champions. I'm looking for Malaysian champions. Okay? One is good enough to start with. So let's get down to doing something, solutions. And let's prove the skeptics. When I started ASEAN FS, by the way, 5 years back, my friends in Malaysia and Singapore told me, ASEAN is dead, don't waste your money.
You have asked your question, right? Can we...
I know. But I want to make it so specific so that they cannot say they didn't understand the question, you know. The question is, how are there some champions in Malaysia that we can bring out in our publication and show them as heroes and tell everybody else, if they can do it, the rest of you can do it. So Steve, help me out.
Okay, Steve.
I actually didn't get the question. What was the question again?
Can you repeat
how does
Do
the
you have any champions in Malaysia who can show the way for the rest of Malaysia? Are there any champions, individual, organizational, who have taken extraordinary steps and prove all the skeptics wrong and all this blah, blah, blah that nothing can be done? I want doers in Malaysia. Do you have names, companies, individuals as champions who are doers in Malaysia on this front? Yes or no? If not, let's search and find them. And hold them up as an example for Malaysia. Hey, these guys are doing it. The rest of you can follow them. Yeah? Any company, individual who have taken steps to mitigating climate change, finding solutions to climate change in Malaysia.
Do you want me to name names? I don't know how to do this politically. I think Digi are well on the way. I think Sime Darby are having a good go. It's a shame that we don't have Mr. Proven here, who is supposed to be here, so he can tell us about Sime Darby. Yeah.
Yes, please.
How about the utility power company, our Telecom Malaysia and other power sectors? Since power sectors is the biggest or the main polluter, how do you see the power companies in Malaysia managing it?
Is this being? That's a video camera there, you know. I run a group called Green Drinks, which is open for anybody. We meet once a month and we talk about green and sustainability issues. A few months ago, I invited the CEO of TNB to come and talk about energy and his plans, and it was a great conversation. One of the things about Malaysia is that the power utility people have to do what the government tell them to do. And so they're not really kind of corporates who can, you know, take their destiny in their own hands. So there's that kind of dysfunctionality.
Well, I can't speak to Malaysia specifically because I don't know the country that well. I've been here many times, but I can't speak to specifics in Malaysia. I guess what I can say, Roy, is that as Minister Chin said this morning, right, the greatest contribution to the problem is from the energy complex, and you know, we know the sources. The sources are well known, energy complex being the main one. So, you know, what I see coming out of places like Copenhagen, you know, are drives towards punitive taxes on industry, which to me makes no sense at all. Any solutions going forward have to be economically viable, and they have to be driven by economics, and industry is going to have to drive them. And what they need is the inverse of cap and tax, some kind of incentives to drive industry in that direction.
Okay, Tony. Professor, very, very short answer.
Right. Regarding Roy's first question, I think, on what companies can do, I mentioned in my presentation, three things is very important, and that can come as a pressure from shareholders, stakeholders, to all companies, that they should, in annual report, for instance, include obligatory information about the assessment which they need to do every year on environmental impact, at setting targets for reducing negative impact of the activities on environment, and as I mentioned, a solid reporting system.
Mr. Sharon, as short as possible.
It'll be very short. So I'll answer your second question, taking you back to Bangkok, Roy, that there was one school that you showcased that was about 250 kilometers out of Bangkok that had a small school of about 500 or 1,000 students, and they had a net carbon footprint, zero emission. So we need to really find such institutions or schools. It could just be a school or a non-profit organization, not necessarily the industry, that you must showcase to lead exemplary discipline to the businesses here and maybe the governments. And I don't know the name, I'm not from here, but I think that's a pointer.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you for being with us. But yes, we might have a very short time, but the discussion is still going on. And in Astra Awani, the channel that I'm working with, we are opening the discussion. You can just log on to our Facebook and ask questions, and I'll make sure that gentlemen are available to answer your questions. All right. So thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. Over to you, Jamie.